whatever this is. What's up, everybody? It's Monday and I'm waiting on 400 different phone calls. 400 different phone calls from doctors and employers, and I hate waiting on phone calls. My friend Ben watched Meat Man the other day, and he goes, "Did you seriously name a bowler Meat Man?" And I said, "Why, yes, I did, Ben." Because that's just how I roll. Apparently the banter while I'm bowling is entertaining. Who knew? I'm never going to make it into the pros if I keep bowling like I'm blind. Did you see that? That was awful. Okay, well, we'll just aim for it, I guess. We spent 2 weeks taking care of my parents' dog while they were at Old Orchard Beach. And they came home yesterday, and my parents are both retired in their 70s. And I don't think you're ever ready for them to be that old. I don't think they're ready to be that old. And I don't think anybody's ever ready for the experience, no matter how much you witness other people going through it or can put it in perspective. All right, Meat Man, you're going to have to do better than spares. Because, damn. You know what I mean? We'll take that strike. When your parents, they get older and they start, hunching over more or maybe not being as sharp. And you all have to kind of grin through it like, it's normal. People get old. Thing is the person that's behind all this, they're the same person that they've always been. Sometimes that's not always a good thing. Even when cognitive decline checks in, and after I worked in a nursing home for 3 years, I could tell you that it is, even if you don't know the person, it's like watching somebody go off a cliff while you're tied down to a chair and forced to watch. It's just like you're restrained. You can't do anything. Even if you were the expert in the room, that studies Alzheimer's and senility and elderly cognition, you're still tied down to a chair watching somebody head for the cliff. It's like you can't warn anybody. Who are you gonna warn? How are you gonna warn them? You say, be careful, something that you can't control is coming, and I won't be any help. Sucks, really. And we got another strike. Oh, I'm so pumped for that. It really would be nice to go into this tournament with something worthwhile to show off. The thing that I find the most remarkable about getting older is that your body just decides it's not going to put in the same effort anymore. You start dealing with strained muscles that won't heal as fast. Sometimes that won't heal at all. Your doctor telling you things like, well, you're just left side gait guy now. So that's it, I just have a gait, I can't, You can't fix whatever's causing it? Nope. Now you're too old. You'd never survive. Or whatever it is. You'd never survive is probably a bit much. If we gave you gait-correcting surgery, I mean, we'd be canceling Christmas for your kids. I don't think it is quite that bad, but I know the older you get, the less they like to do surgery. The irony is that the older you get, the more surgery becomes the only thing that will fix certain things. And everybody goes through it, you know? I mean, when I moved out to Indiana, I'm 5 years younger now than I was, or than Tori's dad was when we moved out to Indiana in 2013. He was 55. He is now not 55. And he said that, I'm gonna retire. And he said that every year since we lived out in Indiana. And I sometimes wonder if people think that we moved and it was personal. And it wasn't personal. The state legitimately treats our people bad. It's really not the kind of thing you want to have attached to your legislature unless you're treating the entire state like a business and not like a place where people live and exist. And Indiana's kind of doing the second one, because look at the data center. They're forcing the data centers through. Not every town is finding that maneuver is successful, but they're basically saying, look, we're going to do what we want. We don't really care what your input is. And part of it is definitely because even local town politics gets wedged into 90-day optics. Whether they would like that or not. Another strike. And the end result is you can't stop the train from careening towards the bus in those cases. That didn't seem like a good throw. Didn't I beat this guy once already? Like, he challenged me to a duel or something, or a rivalry. I think it was a rivalry match. He's very emotional. Did you see that? My life is over. I can't bull worth a damn. Dude, it's bullying, okay? It's not like we're, playing shuffleboard on a cruise ship for all the, shrimp at the salad bar. Why do they have shrimp at a salad bar? This is some weird fantasy I've made up. It's all-you-can-eat porridge night at the salad bar. You're serving porridge? Does anybody eat porridge? I do not eat porridge. That's it. That's all I've got. I do have some hot cereal by Red's Mill. I love their hot cereal. The good stuff, the multigrain. So much flavor. Really good. You add some brown sugar, some cinnamon, and some butter, and man, you've got cream of wheat on steroids. And you don't need to eat again until 6. I mean, it's ridiculous how filling that particular concoction really is. Red Mill? Is it Red Mill or Red's Mill? Somebody check that for me. Damn! I was on such a great roll and then this happened. I think it's Red's Mill. I don't know, but they got einkorn flour, which, for me is like awesome. I'm all about the einkorn flour. Made my first einkorn bread with that flour. And it's gotta be what bread was supposed to be when the ancients were using it, because it was so nutrient rich and so packed that it was a meal by itself. Which bread, if you say, oh, I had bread for lunch, people would be like, there's no nutrition in bread. But if if I'm sitting there and they say, well, no, it was einkorn bread, I'll be like, oh, yeah, no, he had a meal. I mean, you can eat other things with it. I recommend that you do, especially if something you can dip into. But, and another strike. But it really is, it's packed with flavor. Man, now I want some einkorn bread. How dumb is that? It was really good, though. And we made it in a bread maker. Everybody told us we couldn't. We did anyway. Did we make it in a bread maker? No. I think we did it in the oven. Now that I'm thinking about it, we didn't do it in the bread maker. I'm pretty sure now that I think about it, AI told me, don't do that in the bread maker. You know, AI that's dumb, that doesn't know anything. That's what people keep telling you. Yeah, told me not to put it in the bread maker. That it was, its gluten index was different, and it was going to behave different and all this stuff. And you know what? It did. And you know what? It was awesome. Very crusty bread. Very, very crusty. If you don't like crusts, it might not be your thing. But if you like a crusty bread, it was definitely that. Kind of like a uneven texture. This dude throwing another... Why are you putting spin on a ball where you're trying to... Just throw straight, dude. It's not hard. Just throw straight. Bro's out here like, I ain't throwing straight. Oh, the hell you say. Alright. Game 2. Meat Man versus Arthur Roberts. Ben goes, did you seriously name a guy Meat Man? Yeah. I mean, it's my universe I'm building. Why not name him something ridiculous? There's a candlepin bowling literally a mile from my house, maybe. Fun type of bowling. Wow, that was bad. I was really expecting him to... I probably shouldn't be. When you think about it, he loves to put that spin on that ball, regardless of where it's going. Oh, that was... Look at the kinetic force that was on that. That's how it's supposed to hit. That's 2 strikes. I think I'm just locked in the zone right now. Ugh. I almost feel bad for this poor bastard. It's like he can't buy... He can't buy the hit that he's wanting. Meanwhile, I'm not cheating. I'm just locked in right now. You've watched me on... Alright, you've seen when I play this sometimes, it's just not happening. But it's happening right now. In real time. See, you can't hit him head on like that. Bowling alleys really are fun places. I mean, people, you know, talk to like tongue-in-cheek, like bowling alley. They were at a they got married at a bowling alley. There are people that have done that. I question their sanity doing that. I mean, how can you be... How is the minister able to be heard? All those people rolling balls? Or did they make everybody shut up for an hour? And then where's the reception? Oh, we went to the laser tag room. Really? You went to... Seriously, that's something that they did. They put laser tag rooms in bowling alleys and some. I don't know. I remembered they had laser tag at Roll on America out there in Lancaster, and then they closed around COVID. They closed Roll on America. U-Haul bought the property, and the problem is that there's not a U-Haul shortage. There's not a storage facility shortage. And they purchased it 5 years ago now. Haven't done anything with it. Not a damn thing. Nobody's even been out there. And I'm just thinking, why did we have to lose a roller skating rink? People are like, well, the owners were tired, and COVID was rough. So sell it to somebody that wants to develop a roller skating rink. You don't close a roller skating rink when Gen Alpha's rolling around here literally discovering 80s roller skating. Like, how much more dumb do you have to be? At least sell it to somebody that recognizes the trend is on the uptick. I don't know how much of that they could have been in control. I imagine as a seller, if you own a piece of property, you could say, I'll sell this, but it has to be to somebody that's going to do the same thing I did. I think you can say that, and if the person isn't developing what you wanted to, what you would personally develop, you cannot sell the property. So the owners could have completely have done that and told U-Haul to go take a flying leap. U-Haul tends to overpay for property because they like to outbid regular buyers. And then they'll just stubbornly sit on the property for 10 years and not do anything with it if it turns out they didn't need it. You want to talk about a place where there's wasteful spending? Holy crap. I don't know that we needed U-Haul to be doing storage, but they are good at the moving truck game. When I went to Budget, and I called them, and they were like, well, you have to use a credit card, you have to do this, you have to do that. I'm like, all right, well, here's my card. And they said, no, you can't use that card. They had more rules about how the truck was rented, to the point where I wonder how they're in business as a company, because the philosophy is really screwed up. The trucks are not better than U-Haul by a long shot. U-Haul was much more accommodating. They wanted to help us transition from one city to another. Budget told me that my credit card was bogus. There's a philosophy there that one of them is getting really wrong. And they're aware what the competition is doing, and they're doubling down. Like, oh, there's somebody I want to go into business with. Somebody whose philosophy is be wrong and do it being stubborn. We only take the American Express Black card. Who do you think you're renting a truck to? Gordon Ramsay's going to be showing up for a U-Haul? He's getting Penske. He's not getting U-Haul. If he needs a truck, that's where he's going. That's what they're picturing, though, right? Somebody with a friggin' legacy credit card rating. Oh, and that was the other thing. They wouldn't take payment over the phone. They didn't allow it on the website. They wouldn't allow it on the phone. You couldn't use a chime card. I finally just told them to go to hell. I'm like, you guys, do you know how many phone calls per week you are losing to U-Haul? Because while U-Haul is a little bit more expensive, they're way more accommodating. Wow. No idea. And U-Haul let us take it 24 hours earlier than we were scheduled to. Budget. We don't take payments over the phone. You can't use a chime card. We only accept Roman... what was it? Was the Roman currency called demerits? I don't know. We only take Spanish doubloons. Like, okay. So who are you renting to? We rent chariots to the Egyptians. They're all driving cars now. I don't know that they know what I don't think they know what their business philosophy is. I'm shocked that they are still in business, though, because whatever it is, it's terrible. It feels like the new CEO of Cracker Barrel is in there helping them make decisions too. What if we make all the trucks look like bread baskets? What is that going to accomplish? Nothing, but it makes it look different. And what do you think that's going to accomplish? Well, it'll make people come back because things look different. Where did you go to business school? Cracker Jack University? Holy crap. I didn't go to Cracker Jack University. I went to Crunch and Munch University. I'm so bad. Crunch and Munch University. Yes, I really swung from a joke that was supposed to be saying that's a Cracker Jack bunch of educators you've got there to actually being about the snack to being about the adjacent snack from the competitor. All like that. I might have some issues. Maybe one or two. Oops. Oopsie. I can't believe I screwed that up. As long as we're having to use this one anyway, let's put some oomph on it. There it is. Well, I got the spare, but that wasn't exactly how I wanted to end. I forgot to put spin on the bowling ball, which... Oops. Let's at least leave on a high note. That wasn't quite what I was hoping for. That shit. Well, 215 is still a really good score, so I'll take that. I want to thank people for watching on stream, by the way. It's actually pronounced stream, but everybody's like pronouncing it stream in their head, so. Everything you see here is curated content, part of a bigger world that I'm building, so you have to follow me on Substack at vincewildexperience.substack.com. And you'll get a bigger episodic look into what all of this is. This isn't just me gaming, okay? Meat Man actually has a backstory. Everybody on the 2008 Tampa Bay, rebuilt Tampa Bay Devil Rays team has a backstory. Same thing with the Gardner football teams. All have stories. I mean, it's a Gardner football team. We've got one competing in the NFL and one in college football for a fictional university that doesn't exist. Gardner Tech. Right? Gardner Tech is I love technical schools because they're not all Caltech. They're not. Some of them are very much more Marty Tech. Like, hey, I'm Marty, come to my technical school, okay? They're not all going to be like engineering, like where NASA, engineers come from. They're not all going to be that. Gardner Tech, where we teach you how to build chairs. We teach you how to build chairs, but really freaking amazing chairs. Okay, here comes Meat Man stepping up to the line to see if he can make it happen. And he does. All those teams, though, and it's funny because the football teams, they're not on the channel yet because it's not football season. Now, I've been playing the games, and I switch between actually controlling a team and not controlling a team, but I'm finding it gets a little bit more exciting when I control the team. So of course, yesterday one of the teams I was controlling had an absolute blowout of a score. It was like the other team didn't show up, and I'm sitting there going, I'm not cheating. What's going on here? Because I wasn't. Like, the first game I played, I lost. Probably by a pretty small amount of points, ultimately. And then I got into the next game, and the next team starts, immediately scoring, returns a football for yardage that led right to the end zone. And I'm like, I'm going to get spanked again. So I just started playing really aggressively. And I don't think the AI, or what qualified for AI back then, was ready for it. It was like, okay. I got mad. Is that the other team got penalized? 2 touchdowns they scored. They got penalized both times for unsportsmanlike conduct. They were dancing in the end zone or something, I guess. Twice. And it was getting on my nerves because I'm like, they've hit 2 touchdowns against me. And they're rubbing it in my face and getting penalized for it, so their field goal has to be longer. And it was like flipping the switch. I just started doing trick plays, and it was fun, y'all. I'm not going to tell you what game it is, but I will tell you that it was the Gardner college team. Because I don't make my teams, like I could make all Madden and Elite, but I tend to make custom rosters, so I don't do that. Oh, this is a beautiful string I'm playing right here. You see that? Gorgeous. This guy's got to be thinking he needs to go home at this point. I'm just done, man. This sucks. He actually threw it kind of straight. I'm impressed. Meanwhile, I'm just like, let's do some more strikes. I like those. Those are fun. I want to throw more of them. There's another one. And because I'm trying to get out of League Night, I feel like they keep you here. I already played one competition. I'm scoring consistently above 200, which should bump me into the semi-pros, but for some reason I'm still here. And since this is the first time I've played this title, I didn't play it when it was actually out for the PlayStation 2. I'm not really sure what happens here. Maybe this is all the game is. You just play League Night for your entire career. I hope not. But, based on the size of the ISO for this game, I'm going to go ahead and assume that that's not the case. Oh! We were doing so good. I was heading for a 4-bagger. And it just didn't manifest. That sucks. This is called the mother-in-law pin. Why? Is it because she's stereotyped and won't leave the house? I mean, my mother-in-law is fine. And my grandmother-in-law is an absolute peach. She was a child, they didn't have electricity yet, okay? That's like, there's generations coming up that are never going to know anybody that didn't have electricity. Never mind that don't know anybody that wasn't on the internet. Can you imagine that? A whole generation of friggin' people, like, oh, you mean you grew up when there wasn't internet? Yeah, I did. That's got to be like the difference between the people that had horse-drawn carriages and people that were driving automobiles. And they said the exact same thing, I'm betting. And it was better. right? But it was better for us because, like, we weren't constantly doing this number, you know? It was not like, okay, I need to check my phone for the 4 billionth time. Even just now, I saw the alerts, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? There was a time in my life where that was just not a thing. You know, a good day was getting out the Sega Genesis, not going on the internet or playing an MMO or anything. This was it. This was a good day. Of course, this wasn't out in 91, but being able to do this for a day was the part that was awesome. Well, I don't know what happened there. That was kind of a sloppy throw. Come on. Dude. Bring the bacon fat to the yard, all right? Cream it like corn. A spare. I wanted better than a spare. I deserved better than a spare, damn it. Now we all gotta wait for this guy. Have you seen these dudes that roll the ball with 2 hands? I feel like that's cheating. I've heard the explanation as to why it's allowed, and I still think it's cheating. Like, to me, it looks like you never learned how to roll the ball. Like, oh no, Vince, you don't understand. They know how to roll the ball. Apparently not. I mean, let's not pretend I'm the crazy one here. You know, most people, you know, underarm throw. These guys are out there trying to do, it's weird. And I feel like it means they don't know how to bowl. One man's interpretation, and we have a split. That was not what I was hoping for. I broke 216 though. Can we do it? I highly doubt it, but we'll give it a try. No, I left it open. That's too bad. But I got a good final score, so I'm not going to complain. There's no way he's touching that. He's bowling like, you know, I don't know. I'm just phoning it in today. All I can think about is an argument I had at the office. Nice strike. Let's see what he does here. Spare. Oh no. Damn. Seems like a clever shot, but if you don't have enough speed on the ball, it's not going to counter enough to keep you out of the gutter. Swirl 2 shoes in the shop. You know, I haven't been to the shop because you don't hardly any make money at this level. That's why I'm kind of hoping I'm about to graduate. Because I don't want to be stuck here the rest of my life. What do we got here? What do we got? A chicken cutlet? Let's see what we got. I haven't really checked my balance, and they don't really... Oh, yeah, boy, big money. Look at that. Okay, well, that answers that question. You're broke. Everything in the shop is at least $3,000. You're friggin' broke. Tournament, $6,000 grand prize, of which you will get half. And they won't explain why. That's if you win. Which I should, but it's if you win, which is a big if. It's quite presumptuous. It's party time. Just follow the hook. And I'm playing against Sylvia Plath. Okay, not Sylvia Plath. I'm Sylvia Nichols, whoever that is. And we'll take the strike to be the first. I hope she brought a body bag, you know, for her bowling ball, because, you know what, that didn't make any sense. She's also being forced to bowl against a guy named Meat Man. I'm sorry, but the irony here is glorious. I feel like it's exactly the kind of bowling archetype that would definitely show up. His name's Michael, but everybody calls him the Meat Man. You know, that kind of archetype. Nobody knows why until they realize that in between strings, he's munching on a turkey leg. And then he gets the reputation as being the Meat Man. It's a colorful ball that she has. Too much spin. Too much spin too early in the throw. Wrong placement, really. Alright, what has she got now? Oh. You can't pick them apart one at a time. You only get 2 throws to make it happen. This isn't Candlepin. See if she does better this time. Okay, we got a strike on that one. $64 question, though, is she ready for nighty-night? Because, oh yeah, it's nighty-night time. That's another strike. And everybody's loving it. Everything is bigger. So this is a Texas bowling alley? Sure, why not? Of course it is. It's a Texas bowling alley. Oh, and we left one standing. That was not a good thing. It's interesting because they never did this title. They did just this one year for Brunswick Bowling, right? I would have loved to have seen how they had developed it further, because the development team for this one title was already insane. They thought of everything. AI matching shots. You know, if you're playing at a level, it starts to match the level. If you start playing less good, it starts playing less good. The tournaments, the tree, the playoff tree, all of it was developed at a level that just took a lot of care and investment. And if they had done a sequel, it would have been amazing. I mean, if EA Sports wants to know how to make a gaming sports title, they got to study Brunswick. They really do. Because the philosophy is exactly the opposite of the Madden team. The Madden team is like, how do we get these assholes to pay 5 times for the game they already overpaid for once? Oh, well, what if they could bring back quarterbacks, from 40, 50 years ago and play them in the game? We'll make it a character pack. And somebody else is like, no. Your team will be made up of a luck of the draw. I'm not even sure how the character packs work. Does that mean that the Patriots that you get are like a cut down version of the Patriots? Like the people that are usually riding the pine? And you have to unlock with a character? Like, I won't even look into it, because the fact that they have the audacity to charge $70 and not give me a fully functional game is enough for me to never buy it. Never. When are you buying it? Never. Because why? That's a contract I'm never signing up for. That's like telling me, hey, we're selling you this car, there's no gas tank. I'm not buying the car then. I hate to tell you. They're turning everything into subscription revenue. And the thing is it's a stupid investment because the people are already exhausted with subscriptions. In 10 years, they won't be having it at all. And so all the things that people are trying to turn into subscription models is just going to go right in the crapper because the people are already rejecting it. And every time companies think that they can force the public into doing something they want, they always lose. But they always push it. They always push it and they try to make it happen. So here I am playing my PlayStation 2 games happily and doing world building because you took away the autonomy of all the other titles that you put out now. And now PlayStation, who famously were rebelliously giving us discs, is now saying they're going away. Who's buying PlayStation or Xbox anymore? I mean, it defies explanation because everything is paywalled. We have great online features. Fantastic. What do I do? Sign up for an online account. Got it. Okay. Oh, you want to actually play online? That's going to cost you $15 a month. Oh, did we mention that? Yeah, Fallout 76 has its own subscription fee at $10 a month. So now you're not just paying $15, you're not paying $25, you're paying $30 a month. It's $25 a month. I told you I'm numbers blind. Why? Why am I paying all that? You know what I mean? It's predatory at that point. It's completely predatory. Like, so you're telling me that I can't just communicate with Fallout's servers. No, I have to go through the EA servers first on my way to the Fallout servers, which means I have to pay them both for a subscription fee, because that's what happened when I tried to sign up for Fallout 76. I got dinged twice, and I thought, you know what? I'm not doing this again, and I haven't. The Fallout disc is a coaster now. I was that pissed about it. I'm like, you know what? I get Fallout charging the subscription fee for what's ultimately an online title. But PlayStation forcing me to go through their servers first, that was the part that pissed me off. Like, what a bunch of predatory vultures. You know, and their 90-day optics. We got to show the investors that we're making money. Your investors are morons. I could outwit them with a staple gun, okay? Not much talent there. They're about greed and profit extraction at a hyper rate, not about business and world building. I would never take a modern day American investor to help me with a single solitary damn thing. I wouldn't. I would try to find foreign investors or legacy investors, but I wouldn't use the typical pipeline that everybody uses because they destroy things, they don't build them. You know, they get they spend their $250,000 on their MBA. The people that give them the MBA could wipe their butts with it because they're teaching a business philosophy nobody else in the world will teach, which should be everything you need to know right there. I'm the guy in the classroom that raises my hand and say, hey, they're not teaching business this way everywhere else, and I'd probably be sent to the dean's office as a grown-ass adult. I want to learn not how to satisfy my investors. I want to learn how to maximize my business and its footprint for longevity. And the people currently investing in those opportunities, they don't do that. They want to show quick bursts of income, quick profits in a really, really short window. And that's just a no for me. You're telling me what you want me to do is make you a crap ton of money and you don't really care about my business at all. Because the minute that it starts to not be able to do that, you'll pull the plug and leave me in the lurch. That's not a partnership. That is a predator. Posing as a house pet, by the way. A crappy house pet, like, you know, if you had a Wolverine or something. Is she actually going to do it? Oh my gosh, she got the spare. I won. I knew I was gonna. I didn't just win, holy crap. That was pretty impressive. It's gonna be hot this week, guys. Hot. It's like this hot in Indiana too, though, so, you know, whatever. You look out my window and you'll start to see guys just walking down the street, just a pair of shorts and flip-flops and nothing else. And they all picture themselves, you know, the same way. I look like Triple H. No, you don't. You don't look like Triple H. You don't even look like Single H, okay? You're not even budget Rena H. I remember when I lived in Florida, there was always a guy during spring break who was older than I was, hell, older than I am now, platinum Speedos, cruising down the beach thinking that the college girls are totally checking him out. I wish I could say that guy didn't exist, but he does exist, and he absolutely believes that. And the only thing I can think is, wow. If there's one thing the college girls are not doing out here, it's checking you out. And I know this because they're not checking me out either. And of the two of us, I'm the better option. I'm so glad I'm not. And I honestly, if for some reason I ever found myself single again, I wouldn't date. I don't think I could. First of all, my marriage ending would be a traumatic thing. It would have to do more with somebody passing away than a divorce. So that's never happening. And second of all, if it happened that way, it would be traumatic for me. And it may take decades for me to recover from it. You know, autistic attachment is pretty heavy duty. So I don't like to think about it that much because it's one of those things that floats around in your brain and it starts to feel like it's the only thing that's there. Alright, meat stick. One day I'm going to figure out what that speed meter is actually telling me for percentage. You see it went down to 7%, and I just creamed those balls. So I don't understand what happened there. It's accuracy and strength. See what I mean? It's really weird. That was awful. What the hell just happened? Oh, and we left a... Oh, boo. I'm gonna have to really come back strong. Really come back strong. Especially if he keeps doing that, because... Dang. Okay, that didn't go so well for him. See, you didn't need a spin on the ball. Wow, okay, well. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh! Now, see, that feels like I was ripped off. Doesn't it? Kind of feel like that? I didn't come here to throw spares. I go to play Candlepin to throw spares. I come here to throw strikes. And blow my shoulder out because these balls are ridiculously cumbersome. I heard that you like to throw strikes, Mr. Bond. Who the hell are you, and why are you calling me Mr. Bond? Oh, very lucky strike. He gets the spare, but is he matching me? I would say no. It's all about the jingle jangle, baby. Here we go. And another strike for the man. Thank you. Do you know that if they allowed smoking indoors now, I'm almost positive half the bowlers here would be smoking weed. Think about it. You can eat nachos while you're bowling. What's the best way to make sure you get the maximum nacho crunch? Smoke weed first. We got a turkey. We got a turkey and he didn't. Ooh, that didn't go in. That didn't have the velocity, or I don't know, it just didn't hit at the right angle. There was no kinetic energy with that shot. That's right, when you don't try to spin the ball, you actually hit the pin you aim at. Not bad. He's a strong bowler and might be a threat if I, hadn't practiced at this a little bit. Because, yeah, when you first play this game, that guy, he wrecks you. He plays just good enough that you don't look as good in comparison, and it's frustrating. Like the first time I came through here, I was like, "Oh no, he's doing it." Oh, that was bad. Because he would catch up and overrun me so fast. I was initially setting myself up with really, really bad shots. I didn't realize at first that there was I could put spin on the ball, and that would help the shot. I didn't realize a lot of things about the game mechanics. And then when I suddenly realized what they were, I said, okay. And I locked him in and started winning. Right? He'd have to make 100 points just to match me. He's got to know there's no way he's doing that. I would think. 137. Wow. No, see, there's not enough energy on the ball. I can't do those shots either. I'm not saying anything. It's not like I, you know, like I'm not saying I can do it. I'm saying that nobody can do it. And factually speaking, nobody can do it. So. So what? What's happening now, huh? Let's find out. Oh, so this is it. I played my 2 rounds, and now I got to play Marshall. And then whoever wins, I'm either going to be playing Wallace or Austin. This is it, the final stretch where the man meets the myth, or something. The big competition that decides the fate of whoever wins it. All right. Oh, 1 standing. That's not what I wanted to see on my first shot. Boo. Yep, he seriously walked into League Night and wrote his name down as, I want to be called Meat Man. And now he's known as Meat Man. And if he ever gets big in this thing, he's going to regret that decision. Meat Man. Spares on tap. He gets another shot. Let's see what he does. The Meatster, Meatarello, the Meat Miser, the Meat Master. That's enough of that. Oh, man, come on. 2 spares, and you gotta wonder how much this would piss me off in real life, that I apparently the conditions have changed enough, and I've got to relock in my groove. Dang. The conditions of this alley changed. See, in Candlepin, they don't oil the alleys. What you get is what you get. And trust me, you can't spin these balls anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. Alright, let's see if this goes any better. Yes! Okay. Now I gotta remember what I did. See, he's pumped. Look what I did. I friggin' killed it out here, huh? Two strikes. I think I found it. 2 strikes in a row is 2 strikes in a row. And that definitely gives me a bit of an edge. I gotta keep an eye on whether or not she's throwing strikes, because No. Probably a spare, depending on how she's doing the spin on the ball. Okay. I got to keep a track of what the AI is doing, because when I start playing good, it starts playing good, and it can come up from behind you and just smack your kneecaps out. There is a way to bamboozle it, but it's painful. And we got the turkey because it's Thanksgiving, apparently. Thanksgiving is when you're supposed to eat turkey, according to somebody. See, that's one of those things that, as an autistic person, I think, why are certain things delegated to certain times a year? Now, even I do it. Like, Christmas music, I don't listen to it all year round. I love it. I'm one of those weird people that the minute it's November 1st, it's on. Okay? I let Halloween have its thing, but I blend Thanksgiving and Christmas. I consider them a holiday season that's kind of complementary. People get mad when you do that. I don't really care what people think. You do you, I'll do me, and just butt out. But, I don't listen to it outside of season. I enjoy the hell out of it. I'm probably going to love it doubly this year because there's something special about living in Massachusetts at Christmas time. It's just, it's different out here. I can't explain why, but I hope that was enough spin. And it was. Apparently my tuxedo cat is getting into mischief. Here we go. Another shot for the champ. I just got a 6-pack. I don't know if I've done that before in this game. I don't think I have. I think that was a first. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that she's not going to beat me now. She's putting up a good fight, I'll give her that, but I mean, I'm just, I'm ready to see what happens after league night. Like, where do they put you next? Do you wind up like in a semi-pro league, or I mean, does a limo pick you up? I don't know what to expect. If there's no fanfare whatsoever, does the mayor hand you the keys to the city, or I don't know. Does Ferrari want you to drive their cars? All because you can bowl? The president wants you to come down to the White House. Which, now if you do that, it's almost as bad as if you mentioned you were going to a brothel. I mean, seriously, you might actually get respected more, and it doesn't matter who's in the White House. It's just, oh, you're going to the White House? And it doesn't matter which party is occupying it. It's like, that's disgusting. I wouldn't go to the White House. You know how there are open sewers in other countries? Yeah. I would go bathe there before I would go to the White House. That's why whenever I hear a journalist go, like, they feel like he's disgracing the role of president. And I'm thinking, that bar was set low a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't something that was unique to the last couple of presidents. It was happening on a regular basis. Like, there's people that have been defiling the White House long before I was born. So the bar is, bringing it up is kind of like saying, look how dirty this sewer is. It's unbelievable how filthy this sewer is. And were you expecting it to be a wading pool? That's why I chuckle at people arguing on politics. Like, really, you're arguing about fantasy. You're arguing about fiction. None of that is true at all. It's completely fabricated. Look at that score, 243. I wonder if I can keep pulling that off. Man, a six-pack. She can't even. Yeah, I won. I know I did. A lot that time. And that's actually, for the computer, that's actually an elevated score. It's climbing, but it's not matching me at all. Oh boy, I got the Cherillian shirt, whatever that is. That sounds like something you would wear after being drunk. I got a Cherillian shirt on. It's comfortable. Feels like burlap on your butt. Why are you wearing a shirt on your butt? I'm drunk. Nothing makes sense. Play match. A perfect game. Can you imagine if I did that? I don't even know if that's possible. Like, in the real world it's possible because it all has to do with physics, but on a video game, I feel like the AI would actively sabotage you. Oh, you want to bowl a perfect game? Here's a little crow on your chin. That was not a strike, and I'm disappointed. And it's not crow. Crow on your face, not on your chin. You know what? Where does that even come from? Crow on your face. Yeah, I just ate crow. Was that it? Was it ate crow and pie on your face? I don't remember. It's one of those terms that, people used to use. But now it's like, yeah, not so much. We're kind of over it at this point. We have a lot of those sayings, though, don't we? Sleep tight. There's one. Sleep tight. You know why? Because a bed tick had to be tightened. They basically stuffed they made a makeshift mattress out of cloth and hay and a series of ropes making squares. And you put that hay-stuffed mattress, basically, on the crossed ropes. And it was called a bed tick. That's where people slept. And the beautiful part about it was, once you had the frame, you pretty much had a bed for life because the mattress was basically something you changed periodically. And that's just how we lived. That's just how we lived. Yikes. I feel like she's not doing so hot here. And I know that because I learned at Old Sturbridge Village. It's a shame that there's so many regulations around living history museums, because I would pay for the experience to sleep over in one of those houses for a night. I would. I think a lot of people would. I think you'd have trouble finding room for people on a schedule. It would be a unique experience. It would be guided. Somebody would be there with you. You wouldn't just leave people to their own devices. And, you would prepare your meal on the hearth. There would be waivers for sure. And the experience would be the experience would be guided and supervised in the whole bit for security reasons. But yeah, I think people, to see what we missed, basically, what it was we weren't here for. Our world is completely different. We go to the grocery store. We actually got convinced to stop producing our own food in our own yard and rely on an anonymous third party we've never met to make sure that we have food on our table. That's insane. When you put it like that, it's insane. And that's basically exactly what happened. We've just never looked at it from that angle. Like, oh yeah, I freaking have to rely on somebody that I will never meet. What is it, the CEO of Hannaford? You never going to meet him? No. Does he care? Probably in some weird abstract way, but not about you personally, for sure. If he hears Bill Smith is hungry this week, he's not going to drop what he's doing to airlift you some food. Whereas if you had a garden and a couple of chickens, you've basically got stir-fried rice ready to happen. Ooh, and that was a messy throw. That broke all the wrong ways. I was watching Andrew Zimmern, Bizarre Foods. He went somewhere and he ate wild rice, harvested in the wild, and prepared very crudely, really. If you really get down to it. And he said, this tastes like it's absolutely fortified. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, of course it is. And those people had to forage for that themselves, which is all the more reason to respect it, because nobody's in the jungle foraging for the Twinkie tree. It's not happening. The Hostess cupcake tree, the Cheez-It tree? No. Oh, if there was a Cheez-It tree, though. Seriously? That's like, Cheez-Its are my crack. You don't even understand. Since I was a kid, they're my crack. And now they got all these flavors. But you know what? It's nice to switch them up every once in a while, but old school Cheez-Its are where it's at. And toasted. Extra toasted. Oh. Autistic comfort food. Volume 1, without question, Cheez-Its. And I used to love Tidbits, but they got rid of those because, nobody sent me anything in the mail. It said, hey, we're getting rid of Tidbits this year. Is that okay with you? Nothing. Just, Tidbits are gone now. People are probably sitting out there going, what the hell is a Tidbit? It's just this little, cheese cracker thing. But they had a unique flavor profile and a unique texture and a unique crunch that struck all of my sensory green lights. And that's big with autism, I think. There are foods you don't eat because they assault the senses. Like, I don't like nuts and anything that isn't supposed to have nuts. And people are like, well, nuts can be in anything. But no, nuts belong in a bowl, on a counter, and in some Asian food, and that's it. I don't want any nuts in anything else. When somebody's like, I made carrot cake and I put walnuts in it, I'm like, I can't stand carrot cake. To begin with, it's too heavy, too rich, I guess. I've never had a carrot cake that wasn't just heavy and rich, and I thought, this is no. But then you went and stuck crunchy shit in it, and I have a rule about cake. If you put nuts in cake, You hate me personally. You've got a vendetta against me. You're targeting me as a person. At least that's how my brain interprets it. The reality is that you like nuts in your cake and I don't. But can't stand it. Don't want nuts in it, you know. I can deal with it in fruitcake, but fruitcake is like a whole nother beast. Like, it's a very unique, you know. I'm talking about good fruitcake, not cheap fruit. I'm talking about like Swiss Colony rum-soaked fruitcake. And that's a totally different experience, and the nuts are part of it. And I love nuts. I just don't want them in the majority of my food. Spice cake, I put walnuts in it. We put pecan in it. It's pecan. It's pecan. Listen, when you guys can agree on how it's pronounced and put it in an actual lexicon for the rest of us, we can talk about that. But they're nuts in a pie, and that is a no. It's pecan pie if you're from the deep south, but it's pecan pie if you're from Brooklyn. So I don't know. I'm fairly certain that Adam Richmond pronounces it pecan. And I seem to think it's pecan. But people like to say pecan. Can I just tell you? A pecan? What were those things that they had in Victorian households? Chamber pot. That pecan equals chamber pot. When I hear pecan, that's what my brain tells me. It's a chamber pot. Something people pee in. So don't use pecan. It's pecan. I will always call it pecan just because of that. I at least have that going in my argument. Somebody else, they could be like, well, you know, it should be pecan. Well, oh, right, yeah, that kind of does sound crude. That's a tough thing to try to counter. So, is this guy going to be the champ or what? This round isn't going as well, and I don't know why. I guess I was getting too much into the conversation about how to pronounce pecan. And my score suffered because of it. She's at 79. I don't know about this. I think I won this round. I gotta be more careful, though. I can't let somebody get that close. Okay, well, we got the spare. That's a far cry from me throwing 6 strikes in a row. That was disappointing. I love how she just put her hands on her hips, too. She's... Really? Yes, really. You don't know how to throw a ball with that much spin on it, and that's why you're throwing crap. I won, but that wasn't one of my better scores. My reputation is decreased by 2. Yeah, it's because I didn't break 200, and people want to see me break 200. So does that mean 2 people just said, oh, fuck it, I'm not a fan anymore, to hell with this guy? There are people like that, I'm sure, but it's just funny. Alright, where are we at with the ladder? Alright, so it's the last round. This is for all the marbles, guys. I've got to do this double. It's got to be... There it is, 6-pack, 6 strikes in a row. That was definitely my first one of those. I don't think I've done that before. I've done it on PBA, but not on Brunswick. This game is a lot harder mechanically. Alright, come on, give me big money. No whammy. Yes! See? No whammy that time. The trick, of course, is to get 100% on both meters. Oh, no, that was bad. I wanted to throw 2 strikes. I'm very disappointed that I did not. Yes. Alright. I did a strike and a spare, so let's see what this one does. That one's going to be a spare, provided she hits the pin. If she doesn't hit the pin... Okay, that's a spare. Oof. Well, that was, I don't know how she recovers from that. Yeah, no, that was always going to end up being an open string, or open whatever. Alright, here it goes. Yes! Alright, here it is. Oh, it didn't have that smack. That sound that it has when it really just hits just the right way. I was really hoping for better that time. It wasn't quite what I was hoping for. Oh, she got a strike that time. Two strikes. Crap. That's not good for me. All right. Come on. Yes. This one's going to try to match me throw for throw. She's good. But I don't want second place. I came here for first. So she's about to get a lesson. In kinetic energy. And that was two strikes. And I will now take a seat and get my beer and my cigarette and my nachos and my hot dog. Let's see how her luck is on this lane. Ooh, and she's starting to fall a little bit behind. Oh, very nicely done. This is someone that came to play. But so did I. What was that? I'm not changing anything that I'm doing on the controller. That is a random anomaly that I'm not understanding. Oof. Not good. I really didn't want to leave one on the table. Oh, ugliness just keeps coming up for this round. It's about the final score. Push that 200 and it makes it harder for her to win because it just will, okay? I've got to push that 200 because she's definitely going to match it unless she totally blows this. Okay, that's a spare. She seems to be able to get repeat spares for sure. This is going to come down to one of us throwing more strikes than the other. Oh, bad throw. Man. Why does that keep happening? I haven't changed the way that I'm doing this. It's just doing it. Like, it'll all of a sudden decide that... That's twice that I got sabotaged by a weird mechanic that hasn't showed up before. Thank you. Finally, something goes right. I'm struggling on this one, and I'm not sure why. 188, man, I don't know. I mean, if she throws 3 strikes, I'm done. That's one. Okay, that's an open lane. That's definitely an open lane. Oh, bummer. I'm stuck in league night, I guess. That's what I'm expecting anyway. I couldn't beat her. I don't know why. It just, all of a sudden the conditions changed and I couldn't lock them down. So if I get the most wins, 34 wins, 2 losses. My average is 201. Yeah, I'm still in friggin' League Night. What the hell? Ugh. Wow. All right. Well, you know what? There's nothing I can do about it right now. I wonder what it takes to get out of League Night. It cost me $5 to play the damn things. I mean, it's not real money, but still. Oh well.